Hello everybody, it's Catherine from the Amazon Jungle Show. So I've had some lovely responses from the C2K at my school website, and I'm going to answer some of your lovely questions. So some of the children have been watching the video and asked the questions underneath the little video on the website. So one of the questions was, there's someone from St. Malachy's Primary School, and they asked, do spiders live in the Amazon rainforest? Spiders actually live all over the world. So in every single country, in every single town, sometimes in every single house, there are spiders. Most of them here are very, very tiny. The ones that live in the Amazon, I have seen a few. The common ones in the Amazon would be the giant Goliath bird-eating spider. Now, it's not a bird-eating spider. They just called that because they saw a spider sitting on a bird, and the person that discovered it decided to call it that. They can take down birds and reptiles and big prey. However, they're more likely to stick to the smaller little sort of prey, but they are very, very big. In actual fact, I've got a ruler, and this is 12 inches. Some spiders reach 13 inches. So if you can imagine a spider this size and this long, it is quite big. But yeah, that's in the Amazon. They kind of stay away from you. There's about 3,000 species of spider, actually more, in the Amazon rainforest. But because the Amazon rainforest is so big, and it's so undiscovered yet, that if you become a zoologist and go out there, you could even find new species of spiders. So there's a lot more spiders to find. There's the Goliath, the Brazilian blue, there's a wandering spider, there's a fishing spider, tarantula, and the jumping spiders. So there's a few spiders in the Amazon that are kind of common. And spiders, you don't need to worry about them. Most of them stay away from you. I have sat in the Amazon rainforest drinking coffee, and there's been tarantulas above me, high up in the trees. They're not going to fall down and plop in my coffee, and I don't annoy them, they don't annoy me. They're not going to fall on my head. They stay up there and I stay down here, and that's quite good. So Luke from Campbell Hill Primary School. Hi Luke, and you said this is so cool. You wouldn't think those tiny little animals could harm us humans. Yeah, we're quite big, but the only reason why animals want to bite or sting you is because you get too near to them, and because they're so tiny, they don't want to be stood on or hurt. So they'll give you a little warning, like snakes give a little rattle, or animals make a noise, or a little quick sting, just to let you know they're there, and then you'll stay out of their way. There was, let me see, another question. So Sean from St. McCartan Primary in Loch Island, you had said, what type of scorpion is that? And what about their venom? So the one I showed you was actually an emperor scorpion, an African scorpion, and that's quite a big one, not the biggest, but it's quite a big one. Basically, the venom in a spider is, the smaller the scorpion, the more deadly or toxic the venom, and that's quite good, because scorpions are so tiny. They need to take down prey enough to eat, but they need to give enough warning to bigger prey that don't see them. Very big scorpions are very easy to see, and they are super fast as well. So they don't need as much venom, but it all depends on the species really. So the smaller ones are the more dangerous ones. So Nal from St. Vincent de Paul Primary School, hello Nal, you had asked, are there loads of tarantulas in the Amazon rainforest? Yeah, and as I said, about 3,000 species, yeah, or more. Now, what else am I going to, I'm trying to answer all of your questions here. Oh yeah, Daniel from Cumrin Primary School has asked a question: would a spider and a scorpion fight if they were in the same space? People have put them together, and they have put them together for their own amusement, their own fun. That's not nice. You never put a scorpion and a spider, or a cat and a dog that don't like each other, or any animal that doesn't like each other in an enclosed space together. It's not natural. In the Amazon, they would just walk past each other. If one of them was hungry enough, they might attack each other, but only, as you said, if they were in an enclosed space. Normally they just pass by each other. In the Amazon, a snake could slither over me quite happily and just go off. Spiders walk over and walk off. So nothing really annoys you or the other creatures in the Amazon unless they are about to be attacked, in which case a scorpion could sting a spider. Some spiders are actually immune to that, and some scorpions would die. The scorpion might get stung or bit by the spider, and that's fatal as well. So depending on the species, you know, spiders can kill scorpions and scorpions can kill spiders, yes. Okay, so Amy from Cumrin Primary School as well has asked, how long do millipedes live for, and can you keep a scorpion as a pet? It's not advisable for very young children to keep scorpions as pets, and you really need to understand what scorpions are and how to hold them. But yes, you can keep them as a pet, but you'd need to know what you were doing. They're not a pet that you could take for a walk or cuddle or even hold a lot. They do want to be left alone a lot, yeah. But millipedes live for, the millipede that I have would maybe live to about 3 years, maybe a bit more, a bit less. Some species would live a lot longer. There are species that live quite a long time, many, many years, but it depends on the habitat and sort of if they're in captivity or not. And Will from Cumrin Primary School also asked, how long does a tarantula live for? Some tarantulas live for 30 years. Mostly it's less than that. So some live for a few years and some live maybe 10. I had mine for, sometimes Chilean roses can live for a very long time. I had mine for 11 years. And then now Aisha, I use in the jungle shows, she comes and she's about 6, I think. So she's halfway through her life. Now let me see. So, Sophie from Cumrin Primary School has asked, how many times can a scorpion sting before it dies? It's not like a bee, so a bee can sting once and unfortunately, yeah, it dies. A scorpion can sting many, many times throughout its whole life. It doesn't run out of venom. However, the way it stings is different. So if it gives a little warning sting, the venom is very easy for the scorpion to make and produce in its body. So it'll give a little warning sting, a very sharp little warning sting, and that'll warn you that it's there. It'll give you a little bit of a venom, a little bit of a bite, a bit of a sting, and then the scorpion just runs off. However, if it wants to take down prey, or if it's stinging to ingest the venom into the animal, then it uses an awful lot more energy to produce that venom, and it takes an awful lot more time, so it actually has to recover and reproduce that inside itself, and it actually conserves that sting, that venom, for only prey. So even if a scorpion stings you, it's probably only a little warning sting, and it's not as much venom as it would being pumped into its prey. Now, and yes, as I say, they don't really harm us or anything. Millipedes can have about 700 legs. One of the questions was about 700 legs, and when little millipedes are born, they're only born with 6 legs. Very tiny, and then they grow segments every time they molt, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. In the time of the dinosaurs, there were scorpions, there were spiders, and there were also giant millipedes, which were sometimes very, very big, sometimes as long as a man. And they were huge, huge centipedes, and they used to roam around in the dinosaur times and eat everything on the ground. So I hope you've enjoyed a few questions and answers about arachnids, and yes, go and sort of research more, and hopefully you enjoy all my other videos. But for now, yes, have a lovely day and keep safe. Thank you. Bye bye.